Hello everyone, this is the Sports Spiral, and today I'm going to review Week 13 of the NFL. I couldn't do this till now because we had a Tuesday night game this week. These past 2 weeks or so have been pretty interesting with the schedule. It's no Thursday night game for this week, and there was 2 Monday night games and 1 Tuesday night game, so quite interesting there. But let's get into it. Let's start with the Sunday games, though. We have the Jaguars, who gave the Vikings a real fight, despite them being 1-11 now. They sent it to overtime and lost a slim one, 27-24. The Jaguars aren't too far from having more wins. I think a quarterback is where the Jaguars are going to need to start with a draft. Because Glennon threw for 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Kirk Cousins threw for 3 touchdowns and an interception. So, yeah, perhaps the Jaguars are in the right direction, but they moved to 1-11 nonetheless. Okay, then we have the Saints picking up a close one versus the Falcons, 21-16. 2 touchdown passes for Taysom Hill. He was good. And Matt Ryan also threw for a touchdown. Alvin Kamara rushed for a touchdown. And the New Orleans Saints held off the Atlanta Falcons to move to 10-2. They were looking like they are the best team in the NFC. So then we have the Lions over the Bears, and the Lions were able to pick up a slim victory despite their struggles recently. They won 34-30. 3 touchdowns and an interception for Stafford and a touchdown for Trubisky. The good news about this game for the Bears, if there is any, is that they were able to generate more points. Trubisky didn't throw interceptions. Montgomery rushed for 2 touchdowns. And for the Lions, Peterson also rushed for 2 touchdowns. But the Bears' defense these past few times, they allowed 41 points versus the Packers last week, and this week they allowed 34 points. For a team that's known for having a bad offense and a good defense, you can't have an okay offense and a bad defense. You have to have a good offense. So, yeah, they need to get some. They've got lots of problems. I wonder if they'll fire their coach. But yeah, Chicago has lost a lot of games now. They moved to 5-7. Okay, I had the Titans in this one, but the Browns prevail, 41-35. They were up big at the first half, but then the Titans rallied back, but not enough. 4 touchdowns for Baker Mayfield, 3 touchdowns and an interception for Tannehill. The Browns bottled up Henry pretty good. He only rushed for 60 yards on 15 carries, and Chubb also rushed for a touchdown for the Browns, and the Browns are looking like real playoff contenders. This is the best they have been in a long while. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We have the Dolphins versus the Bengals. Tua started for the Dolphins, so yeah, it's nice to see him back. And there was some brawling going on at this game, some targeting hits and that kind of stuff. So there was a bit of this is not really a rivalry game, but yeah, there's some aspects of a rivalry game. And for Cincinnati, they were not able to get many points. They're struggling now. They're 2-9-1, and Allen threw for a touchdown and an interception. Tua threw for a touchdown, no interceptions. So a decent game for Tua. Looks like the Dolphins don't have the best offense. Even with Tua, he still needs to develop and get ready for the NFL more. but their defense is really good, and I think that can get them to the playoffs. They're 8-4 at the moment. Okay, these past few weeks, the Raiders have not looked the best. They won a slim one against the still winless New York Jets to move to 7-5. They won 31-28, rally back. So yeah, the Jets like purposely tanking? I don't think so. Maybe in some spots they are, but this would be 31-0 if they were tanking. It wouldn't be 31-28. So yeah, 3 touchdowns and an interception for Carl, 2 touchdowns and an interception for Donald. So yeah, then perhaps the Jets can win a game if they play like they did versus the Raiders. Okay, then next up we have the Colts getting a slim victory versus the Houston Texans. And though the Texans are 4-8, they have started to look better, giving a close game to the Colts. 2 touchdowns for Rivers, not too good of a stat line for Watson with 341 yards and an interception. No touchdowns there. And then for the Texans rushing, Deshaun Watson was able to rush for a touchdown. But yeah, the Texans definitely are going in the right direction. I think they've got a good quarterback with Deshaun Watson, but they do need to rearrange some stuff. And the Colts are looking like a very good team. They're 8-4, and Rivers has definitely helped them this season. Okay, the Rams are also looking like a pretty good win. They win by like a pretty good team, excuse me. They win by 10 over the Cardinals, 38-28. I did not expect them to put up that many points. Just a touchdown for Jared Goff, but they had a good rushing attack with Akers, and Murray rushed for threw for 3 touchdowns and an interception. The Cardinals, these past few games, they've lost a few and haven't looked as good. They moved back to 500. And though their offense has looked like decent, hasn't been too spectacular, their defense needs to step up. They allowed 38 points to the Rams offense, which it's not generally thought as really high powered, but they're actually a pretty good offense. Okay, we have an upset alert. The Giants beat the Seahawks 17-12. So first of all, the Seahawks only scored 12 points. No one was expecting that, especially for the struggling New York Giants, who are probably like the best team in their struggling conference, which also includes like the Washington football team, the Cowboys, the Eagles, all teams that haven't been doing pretty well. The Giants start McCoy at quarterback, and he throws for a touchdown and an interception. Gallman had a good time rushing for 135 yards, and they picked off Wilson once, and Wilson threw for a touchdown for the Seahawks. So good job by the Giants. They pull off the upset, and I think they're tied for best in their division now. Okay, then we have the Packers. They get a pretty easy win over the Eagles. Hurts threw for a touchdown and an interception for the Eagles. I think they were switching around. They used both Wentz and Hurts for this game. Aaron Rodgers is looking really good this season. He threw for 3 touchdowns. Jones rushed for another. And yeah, the Packers are looking really good. They are 9-3. It'll be interesting to see what the Eagles do next week. I think they're gonna start Hurts, and yeah, we'll see how that figures itself out. But I don't think the Eagles are in a very good position. Okay, next up, I was guessing that the Patriots were gonna beat the Chargers, but not by this much. 45-0. They moved to 6-6, back to 500 with the win. The Chargers fall to 3-9. Yeah, 45 isn't too unexpected because we know the Chargers don't have a very good defense. But I was expecting the Chargers to at least put up 17 points or something. Herbert was picked off 2 times. Cam Newton threw for a touchdown. And yeah, a big win for the Patriots. And they are looking like a pretty decent team, not anything too spectacular. Well, they won 45-0. What am I saying? But yeah, they have lost quite a few games, and it'll be interesting to see if they can make the playoffs. Okay, yeah, so in the NFL, seeming like these past few weeks, there have been some kind of weird games, like upset blowouts, high-scoring games, and just blowouts in general. It's been quite interesting. So the Chiefs win a close one on Sunday night over the Broncos, 22-16. 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions for Denver quarterback Drew Lock, and Chiefs quarterback Mahomes throws for 318 yards and a touchdown. So a good day for him. But yeah, they are going against a pretty good defense with the Broncos. Melvin Gordon, the third, rushed for 131 yards for Denver, but that wasn't enough to get them the win. So the Chiefs moved to 11-1 with the win, and they are arguably looking like the best team in the league. Why it's that? The Steelers were stunned on a Monday night game by the Washington football team. It's our teams. Yes, a team that doesn't even have a mascot beat the mighty Steelers. The Steelers dropped to 11-1. They lose their first game, and Washington is probably the tied for best team in the conference, which I already said includes the Giants. They are also 5-7. A touchdown for Smith, 2 touchdowns and an interception for Steeler quarterback Roethlisberger, and Peyton Barber also rushed for a touchdown for the Washington football team, and they were down 14-3 at the half, but they came charging back, and pulled off the upset. Good job to the Washington football team, but this definitely isn't the end of the world for the Steelers. It's just one loss. It means they're not going to break any records or anything, but they're still almost definitely going to make it in the playoff. I think they're a lock. Then we had 2 Monday night games. The other one was Buffalo versus the 49ers, and Buffalo handled their business. 34-24. They were looking like a great team. They moved to 9-3, 4 touchdowns for Josh Allen. Mullins, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions for the 49ers, who have been up and down this year. So yeah, the Bills pull off a pretty big win, 10 points, and handle the 49ers. Okay, so the Ravens have been struggling recently. They had a Tuesday night game this week versus the Cowboys, and they handled their business. Yeah, it was close at some points in the game. Dallas was looking decent on offense, but bad on defense. In the end, they couldn't score too much points. Yeah, their offense, it's not great. It needs to be great if they're going to win games, because their defense, it's not good at all. So 2 touchdowns and an interception for Dalton, and also 2 touchdowns and an interception for Lamar Jackson, who hasn't looked as good through the air, but he is doing a great job on the ground. Let me tell you some of the rushing stats for Baltimore that gave him the win, 34-17. 7 carries, 101 yards for Gus Edwards. 13 carries, 94 yards and a touchdown for Lamar Jackson. 11 carries, 71 yards and a touchdown for the rookie J.K. Dobbins. He's back, and Mark Ingram is also back. He rushed for 6 carries and 28 yards. So a great rushing attack from the Ravens. and this was an important one for them to win, because I'm pretty sure they would fall back to 500 if they lost this one. And that now they move to 7-5, and they keep their playoff hopes alive. So that is going to do it for this week. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and check out my other channels. And this is the Sports Spiral. Bye.